Well, it's Thanksgiving 2021. We're out in the backyard at our house. And I've been thinking a lot about Thanksgiving, and whenever I think of Thanksgiving, I think about my mother's turkey dressing. I can smell that wonderful aroma coming from her oven even now. It's a great memory. My mother was a really good cook. She grew up in a big family. She learned how to cook at her mother's elbow, just a country cook. She could really cook. And Thanksgiving was the day when all of her cooking skills were put to use. And she always had turkey and potato salad. She had sweet potato souffle, biscuits, gravy, fresh beans if she could get them. She had all of that and a lot more. Of course, Jell-O salad with pecans in it. Had to have pecans in it. And of course, there were the best desserts that you can imagine. But the thing that everybody wanted was her turkey dressing. And we always looked forward to that. We always wanted a big heaping plate of her good dressing. It was always moist, never dry, like stuffing could be. Besides, stuffing, I always thought was a northern invention that was created by people that really didn't have any imagination. So one time I asked her for her recipe for that turkey dressing. And she said, well, there's not really a recipe. She said, I just know what goes in it. And she said, the trick is it needs to be really soupy, moist. You have to put lots of drippings from the turkey in it and stir it up good with onions and celery, all the good stuff, real butter, real eggs, and an equal amount of white bread chopped up finely and cornbread. You stir it up good, put it in the oven. So I tried to watch her and I tried to memorize what she put in since she didn't write it down. And so I did. Mama died some time back, and we went through several Thanksgivings without any of her good dressing. And then one year I said, I might can remember how to do that dressing, and I think I'll try it. So Sue, my wife, who's a pretty good cook anyway, she and I worked on it. And besides, we had my mother's very special glass baking dishes that she liked to cook it in. So we whipped up 2 or 3 beaten eggs and all the other chopped onions and celery and salt and pepper and real butter. And we started whipping this thing up, and we made it really soupy like my mother did. We put it in these 1.5 inch deep baking glass pans and stuck it in the oven, 350 degrees for about an hour. And everybody agreed. It was pretty good. It wasn't Mama's, but it was pretty good. And then the fun thing happened. A few years ago, at Thanksgiving, while I was making my mother's dressing, I noticed my 2 grandchildren were watching me very closely. And I said, hey, you want to help? Well, sure they did. So they came over, John and Annabelle. Now back then, Annabelle was real tiny, real small. She had to stand in a chair to work on the dressing. John, a little bit older, a little taller, he stood on the floor, and we started whipping up these ingredients. John was messy. Stuff was getting all over the counter. Annabelle was fussing at him. Everybody was laughing, but we got it done. We got through. Each grandchild and I had our own pan. And of course, John was messy. Annabelle was fussing at him. We were all laughing. And the parents captured the moment with a few pictures, and we really had a good time. And each grandchild created their own pan of dressing. When the dressing came out of the oven, we all sampled it to see who had the best one. And of course, mine's best. No, mine's best. I like mine best. And we laughed again. And as I recall, it was all pretty good, and there were no leftovers. And ever since then, making dressing with Granddaddy is something we do every year at Thanksgiving. And it's always fun. A couple of years ago, I decided to pull a joke on them, and I said, I've decided we're not going to make dressing this year. Oh, no, they said, no, we got to do that. I said, why? I'm kind of getting tired of it. No, Annabelle said, Granddaddy, making dressing with Granddaddy has become a Terry tradition, and we have to do it every year. And so we do. And we just finished doing it here today, and it was fun, and the dressing was great. And all I can say is I think my mama would be really proud. Pass the dressing. Hey. Hi.
Happy Thanksgiving.
There you go. That'll be the hit of the show.
Happy Thanksgiving.